Hi everyone, my name is Jen O'Sullivan, coming here to talk to you a little bit about marketing and your brand. Branding is one of the most important things when it comes down to your business. Now, why is that? If you look at companies like Jamba Juice, they were actually around for I think 6 years before they even became known, and it's because their branding was terrible. And then they did this whole rebrand, and now all of a sudden they're everywhere and people loved them, and it became this kind of overnight success. There was nothing overnight about it. They just rebranded. And that's one thing that I think most of you are so stuck on your brand because you have it set in place and you think, I've spent so much money on this and this is where we are, but it's not reaching your target market. And branding has everything to do with your target market. If you're not reaching the right people, you're not going to sell your products and services. So what does that mean, branding? Branding is everything from who you are, what your philosophy is, what your look of your logo is. It's not just your logo and your marketing materials and how you're presented to the world. It's how you're presented to the world on multiple planes, the physical and the emotional. These things need to be addressed in your brand consultant meeting. Now, if you don't know what that is, or if you haven't had a brand consultant before, look into it. Oftentimes they're graphic designers, but oftentimes they're not. They're specialists in and of themselves. Sometimes graphic designers are great at branding, but when it comes to really branding yourself, it's not a graphic designer's job. It's their job to interpret your brand into the physical visual. Now, a branding expert is somebody that really takes a look at the overall picture of who you are, who your target market is, who you're trying to sell to, what you're trying to sell, what your philosophy is, how your employees relate to you, how you relate to them, how you relate to your family. I mean, all these things go into making your brand, because who you are at your core has to translate through your brand. The more it translates, the more people are going to be able to understand your brand and connect with it and then buy, and then they spend all their money with you because they connect with you. People just want to connect, and that's important. And if your brand is causing you to disconnect, get rid of it. Delete it, trash it, goodbye, start over. This is so important to business that companies have spent millions of dollars on rebrands, on simple rebrands too, by the way, just simple changes in things. So how can you do this on a shoestring budget? How can you do this on a larger budget? Don't skimp on this one. Save money, or if anything, if some of you are of a smaller business where you don't have $10, $15, $25,000 to rebrand, and that's a pretty typical branding amount in the small business arena. If you don't have that kind of cash just laying around, or can't spend it right now, what you're going to want to do is maybe go to a college, a local art college, somewhere that you can hold a contest and say this is an actual company that you will be branding. So many teachers love this. They love bringing in actual clients to do like a competition amongst the 24 students in the class, and it's free. So there's so many things that you can do when you align yourself with colleges, and by the way, it doesn't mean you have to pick one. You can pick one for the win and then maybe work with that student to kind of rework it, and then at that point maybe pay them a little bit, if you're doing extra work. But that's a place you can start. The other thing is, if you just want to pay somebody but not that much, you can pay them a lesser amount through students, through people who have recently graduated. They have career resources. So that's a great place to begin. I would also consider, though, beginning at schools that they had to get in and it was harder for them to get in, like Art Center College of Design or RISD. There's a few colleges all over the United States and the world, by the way, that are very difficult for students to get in. That means they had to submit a portfolio, and they oftentimes don't get in the first try. That means they're already very talented people. So that's the better pool to search from. I'm from Art Center College of Design, and I know that this happened all the time and still does, where businesses, small business owners, large business owners, I mean, they have different huge companies come in and do these huge competitions, but that company will actually sponsor the department. So for you, though, as a small business, look at the night classes. Oftentimes there's night students trying to get in. Look at the day classes, see if there's any instructors that are interested in this. It's not that hard to do. It's just a little legwork, but that will help you immensely getting your rebrand off and running. I can't tell you to do this if you're just starting out. If you're trying to get a brand new brand, sometimes some instructors will be all interested in doing this, where you go and you say, I'm a new company and I need a new logo and a new brand, so can you help me? It just depends. It depends on the instructor and what they're looking for. So ask. Ask. Get yourself out there. Try it with 2 different colleges if you can. Do whatever it is that you can do to make your brand work. So branding is so important, and what you look like and how you present yourself to the world will really make or break your business. Okay, so I can't wait to hear from you and see if you have anything, questions or new brands. I want to see what you guys are working on. Feel free to shoot me an email or just post them on this comment or on this video. Thanks so much and take care.